of Allah was the most beneficent and merciful. Today here is Amanat Ali, an English lecturer at Majma University, Saudi Arabia, and PhD student at University of Malaysia, Pahang and Sultan Abdullah. The topic of my research is investigating the influence of donation on well-being and self-efficacy of students to achieve a sustainable goal. The topic has been linked with three components: equity, access, and inclusion in education. Actually, I'm also working as a president of an organization which provides basic educational needs to the students in our area in Azad Kashmir, Chakoti, Azad Kashmir, a small town area. So this one, please go. So today, today the topic of my presentation is outlined as introduction, literature review, methodology, and finding. In the introduction, I will provide the following background of study, problem statement, research objective, and question. Literature review, the previous work, the methodology, how is it designed, sample and population of study, research instruments, trustworthiness of the data and instruments, data collection and analysis procedure, then finally the findings. Please proceed to the next slide. The previous studies shows that the developing countries like Pakistan and some other underdeveloped countries, we people are famous in donating, and in the crisis of the recent time, the financial crisis, the budget management, mostly parents don't have enough money to give to their children and to promote the education. So people donate in different fields of life, but we have chosen the education. If the people donate in the field of education, it will impact the society in different ways. Like many fundraisers takes time and money to plan their strategies in order to meet their fundraising goals. Also, the previous study showed that everyone has an obligation to improve the loss of unprivileged in order to achieve, ensure the peaceful development. Also, the previous study, next slide please. So donation and self-efficacy, when we talk about this, the previous study showed that financial support enhance essential skills, finance management, self-efficacy. It also improves the self-efficacy of the students. So also donation and well-being, when we talk about, as you know, money has a positive impact on happiness. When the people are happy and their well-being definitely improve. Then pro-social spending has an impact on happiness and well-being. So next slide please. So the problem statement of the society of the research is that as it was largely discussed, the women empowerment, gender discrimination or differences, the parents focus more on the male education in rural areas as compared to women, because they have crystal clear in their in front of them that the woman is a mother, runs house, she doesn't need that much education. And poverty and finance management, like when you have little money, they prefer to spend on the most valuable, they invest on male side, and as compared to these are the previous research, the gender variation, 6% female, in the budget spend on 6% on female, male, and 9% female dropped out. Sorry, it is dropout ratio. And the budget beyond limits, the parents don't have enough money, as I discussed. Then the government support, as we see, is not enough to support the educational environment. And then school dropout is 10%. Please go to the next slide and I will show you the ratio. This is dropout children ratio in all the provinces of Pakistan, but my target is AJK. So in AJK, age 5 to 16, 6% male and 9% female are dropped out from school each year because of budget reason. Next slide please. Then the next slide, it shows, like you can see, there are different reasons for school dropout, and 10% poverty is covered 10% of the ratio that the school children are dropped out. Then the research question, actually we are running an organization and I have collected data from some different organizations. We provide donation to the students and we try to find out whether this donation has positive or negative impact on them. So the question one is to explore student perception of the impact of donation on their overall well-being. How do the students perceive this idea? Then to investigate how donation influences students' self-efficacy. So donation and their self-efficacy, how it is impacted to be ability to achieve a sustainable goal like we are discussing, equity, education, inclusion, and access. So, backslide please. The research questions are relevant to the research objective, and the methodology is qualitative. The first question will be evaluated with qualitative data. Focus group interview have been conducted and observation of the teacher. The teacher observed for 1 semester or 6 months whether the self-efficacy of the student has been impacted positively or negatively. And send the case to the second question about self-efficacy to achieve a sustainable goal. Yes, the next is how is the research design? First of all, ethical consideration was taken from the district education office. Then the participants were informed that the data will be collected as being ethical researcher. Then trustworthiness, as you know, in quantitative data, there is validity and reliability, and in qualitative data, this is trustworthiness. This is the term I learned recently from University Science Malaysia. I was there for a conference. So trustworthiness is the new word that I learned. I want to share with new researcher. Because there is no validity or reliability, we send it to the researcher to we trust them, and they said okay, it's okay, then we trust them. And then research instruments have been developed, then focus group interview and careful observation by the teachers, and finally data analysis. And then next slide please. Yeah. Okay. This is a flow chart. First of all, permission letter has been granted by the education department, week 1. Then briefing has been given to the teacher and the student in week 2. Informed consent was taken from the student in week 2. Observation after careful observation for 3 to 12 weeks. And finally, the interview protocol. It is not held yet, but we are just in like 7 and 8 week data I have collected. Then next is how has data been collected? Yeah, trustworthiness in the research instruments. Just to check the trustworthiness, data was sent to the expert in native language and Urdu, and then careful observation by 6 teachers, because we are providing this donation to 6 different schools. So we appointed 6 teachers to observe the students, whether they what is the impact of donation. And focus interview group is conducted. 70% is like out of 100, 70% of the students. Like some students are from like nursery, prep 1, 2, 3 classes, so they cannot participate. So we marked it as 70 according to the research. Next please. And this is the data analysis procedure. Then we have observation, then we have audio, transcription. Audio, we have recorded audio. It was a focus group through audio. Then it was converted into the text, then created into coding, and finally thematic generation. And finding shows that like we have half of the data that shows when the donation is given to the students, emotional stability has been observed by the teacher among the student. Then self-belief of the learner has been improved. Goal setting and achieving, the students who are from less privileged background has been observed that they are thinking about future, and they are talking that they will be something in future. And finally, overall life satisfaction of parents and the student have been observed. These 4 things have been generated. The positive impact of donation on the student. And final slide, please. Yeah, conclusion hasn't yet been drawn. Thank you everyone for your kind listening and your cooperation and your time. If you have any question regarding this, thank you.
So the forum is now open for question and answer. So if anyone have any question, you may ask please.
सर आपने जो अपने एजेंट के बारे में जो आपने परसेंटेज निकाली थी बच्चों की जो ड्रॉप आउट रेट है, तो आपने उसमें ये मेंशन नहीं किया था कि ये प्राइमरी लेवल पे आपने निकाली है या सेकेंडरी या हायर सेकेंडरी?
My research, do you want me to answer in Urdu or English?
जैसे आप
Okay. My research is from nursery to high school level, and if you see that slide, please, it is mentioned 5 to 16 years. The age limit is mentioned 5 from primary, like nursery school, to the high school students. The age difference, and I didn't generate this percentage. It has been generated by Educational Forum Pakistan 2023. The survey results from the I have taken it from the HEC website, Google Scholar. Yeah, that is linked to the HEC Education Forum Pakistan. Any other question, please? Yeah.
What observation tool have you used?
The observation tool. For example, the teachers have been given a checklist whether they how do they see the student, like self-efficacy, well-being, their emotional well-being, with their confidence level. Like when we provide a uniform to the students, they feel very confident and they can sit among other students equally because they don't feel like they are wearing torn dresses or uniform. When they have their new books, they are not, their well-being and self-efficacy improve, self-confidence comparatively, because when they are torn book or donated books, as compared to that, now they feel better and more confident.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन नहीं है सर, सजेशन है. आपने यूनिफॉर्म और इनकी बात की, अगर इसके फिर ये फाइनेंशियल के बजाय आप सोशियो इकोनॉमिक अगर ये रखते हैं तो ये अच्छी ना होती?
Because the language is if we are language students, language everybody has best meaning. So like donation, socio-economic donation. Basically, the organization is based on donation, and so it is one word covered many things, but we have different meaning: denotative and connotative, dictionary meaning and contextual meaning. Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have one question that you have used focus group discussion and careful observation in your data collection tools. Will you be kind enough to explain what's the reason, what's the logic behind it?
Actually, it is a qualitative data, and for to explore deeply insight into the topic, to explore the deep insight of the data, how do people feel? Because sometimes we give quantitative data, and I don't underestimate quantitative data, but people take fewer time, or they just take maybe quantitative is more trustworthiness, is higher validity and reliability, and qualitative data is lesser. But deep observation to explore whether this variable has impact on them or not.
Yes, thank you very much. We know that in their studies we use
Qualitative
research.
data.
But the time frame which you have designed, are you sure that it will be completed within the specified time?
Yeah, exactly. Like we have educational session for how many semesters, like 16 to 18, 20 semester each year, in our academic year. We don't have semester system, annual system. So we have given teacher like 12 week to observe the students from the beginning of the session. For example, the session started from April and it ends in February. The annual exam starts from February. So that we have more than 12 weeks, but we have given the participants. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It means that you will follow academic year.
Yeah, academic.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
have a question.
Yes.
You have used a qualitative method and it's very good method to see finding the influence of donation was all positive. So maybe some student feel some discrimination or some kind of guilt or some kind of these kind of the feeling. So.
Yeah, we have, we have given the teacher the two ways. As we have been discussing in the last session and this session, we have positive and negative impacts on the of the donation. If you see the research paper, you see. But comparatively, when you have trained the teacher and given them to feel, one of the examples is that many people who are not sending their girls after class 6 or class 8, they were not sending their kids to schools, especially girls. Now they are sending because they said there is no burden on them, no burden of budget on them. So this is one of the positive impact. And we have undeclared observation of the parents. They appreciated that if you don't give us the donation, it's not possible to send our kids to school. So this is positive. Most of the things are positive. That's why I have chosen this. You are right. This is the limitation of the study, that next researcher can research on negative part of the, we can find out the negative impact of the donation.
Exactly. I want to add that Sir question is valid. But as he replied very well, that this comes under the limitation of the study. Actually, when it comes to about the self-esteem, then can be observed through observation and a participation observational approach. But when it comes about to the well-being, I think there must be, the students must be the participant of the study. They must be directly or indirectly, like through interviews or through some ways, their perceptions. When it comes to perception, perceptions are something to be perceived by individual. And the well-being can be perceived through the perception of those individuals, not through exactly observation of the others, whether they are their teachers or parents and anyone. So it comes under the limitation of the study. As he didn't mention the recommendations, so in the recommendations for the future researchers, it should be recommended in a kind of way that the students also to be taken as a participant to perceive their well-being. Thank you so much. Very well explained. Next, please. We are coming. We have some limitation of time, and we are running out of time.